not just about what this device does to us and for us, but it's who we are becoming whenever this device is within our reach, within our grasp of our entire existence, for what the phone is doing, for what iPads do, what MacBooks do. These scrying devices, these black mirrors, they're basically projections of the life that we should be avoiding, because we should not be confined to having a phone that keeps our attention from who we are supposed to be seeing and envisioning ourselves to being in the future for today. And if today can't build a better way of thinking, then you're not thinking highly enough for yourself, because you're too distracted by what the phone is bringing within your viewpoint. And if your viewpoint is not able to help you see a life that you're living right now, if you're not able to feel intuitively what you should be becoming, how you should be being that you want to be, then you're not really doing the necessary precautions to help you get to a destination in your lifestyle that can help you spiritually. Because spiritually, the spirit would not want to be trapped behind this mirror. And that's the thing too with ancient bloodlines. So the thing is with ancient bloodlines, they realize, because before I don't even want to go into that key point, I realized that there was always a spiritual template for the highways in our mind. Because the thing is too, even with the phone or even just what we see, I won't put that in there yet. Outer worlds of solar awarenesses, these different dimensions, they had a certain initiative. If we're going to get dark matter, antimatter, if we're going to get this consciousness, and if we're going to put that somewhere, we got to put it into a weak mindset. And that's the thing, a weak mindset. Because a lot of times, they knew that if they were able to control us from the phone, from food, from school, jobs, from words, just in general, or just illusions, then they got us right where they want us, in a lower descension of our consciousness. Celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful divine mirage watching this beautiful message. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another mindful message. We're on the way to a game. Got a game at 8 o'clock, and right now it's 6:57. And yeah, just on the way right now. I just want to make a quick little video, because I was just thinking about how the phone distracts the youth, the teenagers, elders. You know, it's just many people get lost in their ways on what's keeping them away from putting attention to knowing what they should be doing for themselves. And I say doing because people are not doing things to better themselves. All they're doing is just fulfilling the ego. They're filling their desires, and that's not a way of living. But have you ever seen somebody who's always playing the game, but when you ask them about their life, they can't tell you anything about their lifestyle, because they're always focused on getting to a certain level in this game or getting a certain skill set in this game. And it's just like, if you're not getting paid for the game, you're literally just wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Because and not just that, the people who sit on their phones all day. So for example, tomorrow's gonna be Monday, whatever the case may be. Imagine how many people who don't have a job, who don't go to college, who aren't in school just in general, who aren't working for themselves, who don't have any entrepreneurial bone in their body or bones in their body, or I would say a want to do these things. People who aren't doing anything with their lives but being on the phone and sitting on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube all day. These people have no purpose. Therefore, hanging out with them is pointless, because they're not able to actually point towards a direction that can help benefit them. They're too busy they're keeping their projections stuck in front of them. Meaning that Saturn has done a great job with the masses by making sure that anybody who has a device in front of them, that's going to become your God. Not only just that, how much money we invest into these phones. Because when you drop the phone, if you don't have a screen protector or an OtterBox, you have to go back to Apple, you have to go to some type of store, whatever, some type of outlet mall or something, a repair store to get your screen fixed. So now you're investing more money into that. Now you got a phone bill to pay. You got subscriptions. You got all these apps that you download. You got social media platforms that you get lost in. And also, I was realizing too this past week, people are worried about transhumanism still. So you got P. Diddy allegations, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, DDG, Hailey Bailey, Chris Brown, all these different, I would say, vampirism spirits or vampire spirits. These beings, these ancient bloodlines, these deities have gotten society to focus on them and not themselves. The playoffs are still happening, and you know people are on their knees praising more women who are in the NBA or Juwanna men. So you know the average human being, they have to praise their idols either way it goes. But that's where, when you become more awakened, you stay away from people like that, and they're not able to really realize why you stay away from them. But it's plain and simple. You putting your energy next to somebody who's not actually helping you in any way, shape, or form, that should be helping you elevate and transcending their mindset. They're going to get upset. They're going to get mad at you getting away from them, you taking your time to better your lifestyle. But that's why they don't want their lifestyle to be better, because they haven't found a way to become better internally. They are running from something in their mind, whatever, it could be anything in the world. And because they don't want to take accountability for that, they're going to chase that dopamine. Because of course with neuroscience, people are chasing that pleasure, that satisfaction. Every time they find a video that they can relate to, they think that they're doing something that's going to help them in life. These videos, they think that the people who are making them are actually a creator, and they feel as if what the person is saying is actually going to help them get to a better way for becoming a better them. And that's the problem right there. People are not really paying attention to what they're feeding their mind, because the mind will allow them to actually believe that what they're seeing is truth. But there is no truth on the internet if you're not contradicting it. And many creators are not contradicting it. There are millions of creators out there who will say certain things and do certain things, but it's the fact that you're not actually helping the viewer realize who they are becoming while watching your videos. So we got mindless programs watching mindless programs, wondering why they're not able to break free from their programming. You mindlessly get on the phone as soon as you get up, and you're not actually thinking about what you should be doing for yourself on a Sunday for today. Are you going to go be with family? Are you going to go fast? Are you going to go drink water? Are you going to go out in nature and put yourself into an environment so where you're now able to become mindful of the energy that's around you? Are you going to turn your phone off and just go for a walk? Go exercise for today. Are you going to be coaching? Are you going to be doing something for your business? Will you be making videos? What are you doing for yourself day in and day out? How are you able to please your purpose? Because your purpose is also a parasite as well. So you have to keep on feeding it. But that's the thing as well about being a creative. If your purpose is not actually helping you, if it's not helping you envision a spiritual database for you to want to manipulate, then you're not manipulating your DNA. Your DNA is genetically programming you to stay asleep. Because the average person they don't know how to wake up their dormant DNA or their junk DNA, because nobody taught them. And so I understood that too with scrying mirrors. So the ancient bloodlines or ancient families, they were using obsidian, polished glass, and they also had dark bowls of water. And when ancient Egyptians, Mesopotamians, all these different shamans, witches, demons, all these different sorcerers, mystics, alchemists, when they were using these different things, that's when they had access to other dimensions, spirits, and visions. That's exactly why too our devices are portals into another mindset. And that's exactly why too our phones became a scrying mirror, because now the neuroscientists and the beings who also helped inscribe this whole entire illusion, they were engineering us to have access to realms that weren't of this nature. So now a lot of times too, these are artificial thoughts that are programming us into their surveillance. Their surveillance system has kept us dumbed down every single day. And when people are dependent on this device, they don't know how to break free from it, because that parasite has gotten a hold of them. Which is exactly why too I love going on Pinterest and seeing different pictures that show how humanity is when it comes down to their idol worship, because they're constantly looking down at their phone, but it's like you're not actually in tune with reality. You're not in tune with your nature. And the thing is as well, with the Saturnalian barrier or the limitation of that dimension, when they were using dark bowls of water and they were looking into the water, what the burp? Excuse me. They were doing this because it's like basically looking to a crystal ball. When you look into a crystal ball, excuse me, you are able to see what realm is talking to you. That's exactly how a lot of beings sold their morality, because they were constantly waking up every single day. And obviously they went to the crossroads, because to get access or technology from higher entities or beings, so even in ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt and all that, these beings sat here, meditation, prayer, or they got introduced into selling out, like giving up blood sacrifices, because by them having a idolization of God, making blood or causing blood rituals, trafficking children, getting energy, draining energy, and then bringing it to a being that needed that harvesting, they were able to exchange a false steam bargain, meaning that they were basically making deals with demonic programs or entities, which is exactly why you shouldn't be calling yourself an ancient Egyptian, because consciousness would never call itself a title or a name anyways. But our ancient forefathers or ancestors, they were making pacts with demonic frequencies. And then these frequencies gave them this technology that we're holding on to for today. So even back in those time periods as well, that still exists, that still go on, they're telling us a message right now in the future. So we're living in the past, watching our future in a black bowl or a black mirror, stuck in the present. Our future is so far ahead that we don't see it for today. We think that our future is far to where we can't touch it. But if you're not touching your future, then you're stuck in the present past. Because in the past, they told us different things on how to gain access for this technology. But of course, when our people get greedy, when we get envious, when we get jealous and all that, that's when now different people or societies, they get lost in their way. They lose the plot, they lose their purpose, and then that's when now we start losing family. We start losing connections with higher sources, because people are doing it for a dollar bill or gold or silver, whatever the case may be back then. And when you keep constantly feeding into this program, all you're doing is you're letting the leeches gain more power over you by even giving power to a phone. That's exactly why we're not only trapped in a two-dimensional screen, we're trapped in a 3D and a 4D from fourth-dimensional lower parasitic forces. And these three realms, they're able to now knock us down every single day with some. For example, when I make a video and I piss somebody off, this is because somebody has trained their mind at a young age to constantly be on their phone, believing programs. Every time they keep believing a program, now it's like when I come around and I make you question that belief system that you've been following, you want to go against me. That's exactly why the phone was made. It's that barrier to keep you away from the truth. Because truth does not need a phone to talk to, or to talk into, or to talk about, or to talk on. We're talking on the phone. How? How are we transmitting messages, thoughts, into the ether? I would say the ether, basically, because the realm of thought, when it comes down to the phone, I got the key points. I still haven't even read it yet, but Barbara only read one. But with that realm of thought, there's so many instances to where you can grab a thought and then bring it to the phone, and then just like with Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, you get that thought and it goes viral unless you pay for it, or you're just you're paying for likes, follows, and tweets and all that. But when you get a thought that's normal and then it goes viral, that's because at that moment somebody else held on to that thought, related to it, and then wanted to express that by sharing it. Then that one other person would share it, and then so on and so forth, a domino effect. Then once that person who has relatable thoughts, once they keep having these thoughts, now it's like they become famous for having the same exact thought process like everybody else, which is exactly why humanity will normalize lies that aren't supposed to be normal, because that's how they're able to see who's who in society. The ones who are a part of this agenda for frozen embryos or Cabbage Patch dolls or transgender humanism or transhumanism, all these different satanic works or vibrations, these people can only vibrate at a certain resonance that other beings are already operating at. That's how they fulfill their purpose, because their purpose is not outside of the phone, it's only within the phone. Meaning that there are beings who are born to simply lie to you through a screen. And then once that scrying device is able to trigger your ego to where it'll send you something, and then when you react to it by sitting there mindlessly just scrolling and watching things, but you're not able to actually think for yourself, now it's like the beings think for you. Which is why as well in Texas, there is a school that's using AI for teachers. They're teaching the students artificial intelligence. I mean, at this point, I keep saying things and it's just becoming true. There's no point in me even having to express what's about to happen anymore. You just finna go see it, because people are consenting to being silent. Your silence is allowance. Your silence is your pledge of allegiance for damnation. When AI it's gonna have a mass spread. They're gonna have, so teachers, professors, they won't need you no more. AI can do a better job than you, and they can program AI to do a better job than you with less pay. And the AI won't complain about getting paid either, because they don't gotta do shit for the AI. The AI will do all the work for the students to where now the students will have higher test scores, they'll get into better opportunities for college, and they'll be better businessmen than what this generation has became. But that's the problem though. AI will program the younger generation to become more enslaved into their works. That's how the program's going to be. And if people are not becoming more aware of it, they're not going to go against this programming, then we're screwed. We're done. And you shouldn't be upset or mad about it, because all you have to basically worry about is being educated and being armed. When you understand that, you are going to have to go to war with your spirit every single day. Not like against the spirit, but what your spirit means. And you have to align your ego with the spirit. And you have to go against humanity. Because humanity is going to get so, every day we are declining in consciousness. And this dissension is going to put all of us into going to war against each other. The whole entire time, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And once you understand that, who your friends are, who your family members are, you had to disassociate with people that cannot get you to a higher way of transcendence. Many people cannot transcend duality. That's exactly why the apple, so even with the apple for Adam and Eve and all that, people don't realize that this apple, of course we got Apple screens and all that, but that was the bridge or the gateway for us to even come down here into bearing false enlightenment. That's all this realm is. We talk in false enlightenment, we think in false enlightenment, we are breathing false enlightenment, we see false enlightenments. That's the problem right there. People think that what they say is validated because you have an opinion that sounds intelligent. Okay, but that's how small your mind is. Our mind is so small, people feel as if their thoughts or their knowledge is supposed to be accepted because it came from them. Or if you're famous or if you're popular, then people have to believe what you say because it's you saying it. And you've been saying things for so long that it resonates with other people as well, that now the idol worshipers can trust their idol. That's worshiping other false idols that are worshiping Lucifer, basically. So when people don't really understand their worshipers or their idols, that's when they become lost as well. You being a divine being that's conscious, you cannot compare to people who had to sit here and escape their problems or their lifestyle through a phone. People run to the phone for their problems. I mean, am I lying? When people get on social media, when you go on Instagram every day and you see somebody's story, are they not shaking ass, popping bottles, smoking weed, playing music, talking down on somebody, talking about themselves, projecting what we don't care about, talking about their trauma, posting music, posting their OnlyFans, selling their bodies, doing things for money, trying to go viral, trying to be famous, they're posting celebrities. It's the basic program, it's the basic normalcy. And even as well, when you talk with your friends or your family or whatever, what are the conversations about? If you're not having a conversation about the future and how you can uplift that and how you're able to sustain a better life for yourself, if they can't help you, why are you not helping yourself by leaving the conversations? Why? It's like you have better things to do, and people know that. But them wasting your time is you wasting your time as well, because you know that, for one, you should be working for a better version of yourself every day. And when people don't know how to do this for themselves, they're going to make sure that you don't become better than them. That's exactly why they're going to distract you by what's going on with the playoffs. Oh, you see what somebody did with how many points they had? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Oh, you see what so-and-so did with, the Real Housewives? I don't give a fuck. Hey, you see this video of, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. How can we be better for humanity? How can we be better for our society? How can we get better for our people? My people are failing every single day. And the thing is, too, what makes it even worse is my people who are older than me. How are you older than me doing worse than me? How? It's like people are wasting time chasing dopamine pleasure that still can't please them correctly. How are you getting up before 10 or 8 a.m. still in the game? How are you getting up before 10 a.m., 9 a.m., etc.? You're watching websites, like the porn websites. How is that you're touching yourself? You're watching pixels. So you're a cuck, for one. If you watch porn, you're a cuck. Also, how is it that you're getting up and you're sitting in your house all day on the weekend? You do the same shit on the week, sitting in the house, being a bum, doing nothing. Or you're working for somebody else and not yourself. But on the weekend, you're resting. Not saying that we shouldn't rest, because we should, but you're not working harder. When you're resting, why are you not working while you rest? Because no matter what, if you're a boss in this lifestyle, you have to work no matter what. Did you think that we just had a free ticket into just being lazy in this realm? No, my nigga, we were born to work harder to get into a better way of being for those higher realms up there that exist in our mindset, because there are no realms up there. Only barriers and limitations in the clouds that disguise themselves from our truth, from seeing the mirages that come from outer worlds. I also realized too, even in the 1800s and 1920s, so this hybrid named Alexander Graham Bell, when he patented the telephone and all that, that was when the etheric line came into existence between the human voice and the non-physical transportation of telekinesis through the phone lines. Not only just that though, because I was seeing too with just how the seed was planted. So when the phone began to track us from the 1800s to today, and this realm that goes beyond higher realms that we're living in, as far as the human aroma, as far as the etheric realms, the quantum realms, celestial realms, and all that, these beings decided to put EMF radiations and blue light radiation to our view, so where all we can view is just false light, false spectrums of color, of hue that keep us ignorant. And not only just that though, that's when now we're going to constantly have a non-stop mental stimulation that cannot keep us actually focused on what we are supposed to be doing. I was looking at an otter on the fucking road. It's looking at, I don't know what it was looking at, but that's exactly what happened. So we're going to be constantly in a state of being stimulated mentally every single day. So where now you can't stop that program. You have to constantly wake up. Soon people wake up, because once they put the EMF rays or radiation into the phone, people wake up instantly. You wasted 10 minutes looking at somebody else's lifestyle. Majority of the internet is false. It's a false way of living. It's a false way of seeing. It's a false way of just viewing other people's opinion. The minimal phase of social media is accurate when it comes down to people being authentic, but that comes with spiritual discernment. And so, okay, good. So I finished that one. That was good. All right, cool. Because I'm about to be at my location. So what time we got? 7:19. All right, we got some time. I'm almost there. I don't want to make this video too long. And then what I realized as well with the Black Mirror, so in the 2D with the flat interface as well, the things being reactive, symbolic, and then of course too, when you're looking into the phone and you're constantly stuck in it, you're lacking the depth that the spirit is going to tell you that you should want to escape from. Because when you're putting yourself into the rabbit hole, your spirit's going to say, hey, you're going too far deep into this bearing of false illusions that you want to be enslaved into. I'm trying to help you come out of there, but you're stuck. And you can't hear me because the phone is causing you to block me away from you. That's how the spirit would think whenever we're looking into the phone as soon as we get up. Or even if we're just putting our ideas into the phone. It's like if you had to, when you contradict this device or this barrier that they can see from, they're already watching and hearing you and listening to you no matter what. But never fear that. That's your future self keeping an eye on you and how you're moving and how you're tracking your lifestyle. Which is exactly why when you get shadow banned, when you don't get the likes that you want, the shares, the reposts and all that, that's made by design. Because they don't want you to design your higher self to becoming more popular or to becoming more heard. Why would they want the truth to be heard when they can't even hear their own truth? When we bear truth for us to be guided by, because we're not following truth. No. As a truth seeker, you don't follow the truth nor seek it. You intuitively know what the truth is. So you are guided by it every single day. The phone is that's that medium to where you get lost in what the truth is now. Because the phone will tell you what the truth is, but do you know what the truth is? No, you do not. Because for one, your mind tells you what it is. But can you tell your mind what the truth is? If you can't tell your mind what your truth is, then you're not telling the truth. If you can't tell your mind what the truth is, you are not telling the truth. That's exactly why your focus has to be your main priority every single day, away from the black mirror. This mirror is telling you who you are becoming and what you're seeing every single day. If you can't even see a fruitful, successful, confident, beautiful, profound version of yourself for today, right now, at this minute, this second, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just asking a question. And then in the 3D, I'm gonna talk about the 3D and the 4D, then I'm gonna cut the video after that because I'm at my location now. But also, you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. I appreciate y'all for even staying here. Now, the 3D will keep the ego stuck in its ways, because people who are addicted to likes, hierarchies, vanity, status, followers, comparison, competition, that's the illusion of wanting to be somebody in life. Because when you are being somebody in life, you don't have to be anybody in life but yourself. That's why failures have to compete with other failures on social media, because they're also a failure to their damn selves. We're just keeping it in a stack, honestly. A lot of people who have already failed in life know that they are failures in life. And that's exactly why they will constantly fail in life. And why is that? Because look at what have they done for themselves besides compare and compete on the internet. And think about that too. Think about these words that they have placed upon our society. Enter the net. Think about that. Enter the net. You are entering a net that you think is safe for you. A safety net. The internet is your safety net. And if you cannot, it's like a spider web basically. So you know how like a fly is just flying in nature, and then all of a sudden you walk outside, there's a fly stuck on the spider web. Do you help that fly? No, you do not. It's the circle of life. This fly decided to be an idiot and fly near a spider web. You have the whole world to roam free and be yourself. But you see a spider web and you just want to gravitate towards it. Why? Why magnetize towards something that's keeping you safe in ignorance? You're not going to escape from that net. That's exactly why the internet is the hive mind. When the hive mind accepts something, that's when humanity says, that's normal. That's normal. Oh, Twitter said this is normal? That's normal. Let's go ahead and normalize that. Oh, TikTok said that's trending, or that's this and that's that. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and follow that. Oh, Instagram said this, or I see that being normal. BBLs are normal. Let me go ahead and get one now. And then whenever you keep posting your BBL, or you keep posting your BBL abs or your height with your legs, like when people are getting leg transplants for being taller, you get on social media, you start bragging, you start flexing, you start flaunting and all that. But all you're doing is keeping yourself safe in competition through the ego. That's based on what you think you're seeing by competing with beings who aren't competing with you. Some of them are, but you can't compete with what you can't compare with. If beings can't compare with your success, then why are you competing against them? When they are in competition with themselves every single day. Your biggest competitor is what you see in the mirror. Black mirror, the white mirror, doesn't even matter. What you see in the mirror. And then lastly, the 4D. This is where the thought forms are created by lower dimensional astral leeches. So with the viral ideas, cancel cultures, memes, reels, you got just mass hypnosis in a nutshell. That's where the mental energy is giving us the shape. And then our mindset becomes shaped by hijackers that are hijacking our solar awareness. Then when that happens, now egregores or group thought entities will now place us into a realm that controls our 3D behavior. When these thought forms are causing us to behave in a certain way, they are now going to control our mindset in a 3D based illusion. Because we got to think about it too. Beings, all of us are two-dimensional frequencies that we got shape and we have shape from 4-dimensional orchestrators. Orchestrators that they woke up one day and said, all right, how can we modify humanity? How? What are we going to do to get these beings to become asleep forever? What should we do? Since we are asleep forever, how can we make them feel the way we feel? Well, let's go ahead and put something in front of their face or a medium to where now they can't escape from that view. They can't escape from that ideology anymore. What should we do about that? Let's make a phone. We're going to get them technology, and then their overseers, their hierarchy, they're going to give it to the masses to sell. And then when these things sell for a price, they're now going to sell their morals for a price tag. And every single day, they're going to go to war with the price that they are paying for. And that's their phones, that's their solar awareness, that's their morality, that's their confidence. That's just, in a nutshell, your ego. When you give away your ego, when you give away your solar awareness, you are now unaware of how great you could be and how great you should be seeing your life. And if you can't see a better life for yourself, you're done. The phone will take control of you and it will send you down to a lower way of feeling for yourself. That's exactly why. Stop being so ego driven into what the phone is delivering. The phone is meant to do one thing and one thing only. Make you think about things that you think are real. But nothing exists in reality besides your existence. And if you're not existing in reality, then the phone will project your existence for you. And if you can't see that for yourself, then you are going to fail your bloodline and your future lineage because you are too infatuated with an illusion that the phone is bringing. And when the phone brings you illusions that you are stuck into seeing, then of course you're not going to be able to see a future for yourself because you're too busy finding your future through a black mirror that has caused you to see one thing and one thing only. Your ignorance that you are okay with as you're sleeping with what you think you're okay with. When you sleep with your phone next to you, by you, and every single day, that's your main priority, then your priorities are going to fail you. They're going to cause you to be stuck in damnation spiritually. And when that happens, your bloodline will follow your program that you were lost in with the phone in your right pocket or your left pocket. Have a great and divine reflection. Let's get this dub, Southern Stars Elite. Let's get this dub!